All right, so this is our compare and contrast video between the Honda 70 and our new electric mini bike. Most people are pretty well versed with the Honda 70, so I won't go too far into detail about what it has or does. The electric mini bike that we just built has a 48 volt motor, 20 amp hour 48 volt battery with a adult on it, which my size, maybe 220 pounds. It can go about 30 miles an hour, but then also a range of probably about, with me, we got over 15 miles, probably close to 20 miles with me on it. With a smaller rider, it's probably going to be a lot farther. We can add a switch, we can add lights. So if you wanted to go less than 30 miles an hour, that would be an option. But this is actually my son Caleb's, and so he's been riding this today since we put it together. And we want to get his idea of what he does or doesn't like about each one. So what do you think, boy, as far as you've been riding this today, you've been riding this for, I think you've had that for about 9 months.
Yeah.
So we've had this in Payson and out in the woods. This, you've only had it here in the parking lot. And did you make it over by the canal or no?
Yeah, I did.
All right, so tell us about it. What do you think about the mini bike with electric motor?
I like it. I like that it's small and better for smaller kids like me to ride, and it's not super hard to operate.
It's not that small though. I mean, compared to the 70.
Right, but it's not a huge dirt bike.
Right. Well, we're not comparing it to a huge dirt bike. I mean, to your 70, it's a similar size, but the 70 has better suspension, right? So if you can go over bumps and stuff like that, I mean, there's a limited front suspension on this, as where with the 70, you've got a lot better suspension, obviously, right?
Yeah, this would be better for flat rides, maybe straight roads and stuff like that. But this is definitely better for off-roading, any hills or bumps or more difficult tracks.
So I think the idea though is that when you're here in the office complex and we've got 500 next door neighbors, they really don't appreciate the 70 after a little while, because even though it's not super loud, it is make some sort of noise.
Yeah.
And when you're riding the electric mini bike, like earlier, you can go on the path over there, and as long as you stay out of people's way, they don't seem to be too upset about it.
Yeah.
What do you think on the speed? Which one's faster?
I would say they're pretty similar, but I think the electric mini bike is faster.
You think it has a higher top speed?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, because with me on it, like I said, it goes about 30, but with you, it's going to go a lot faster.
Yeah, I haven't really gone too fast. Even on the straightaway on the canal path, I didn't use full throttle, but I did still go pretty fast. On this, I really haven't gotten. I've gotten pretty fast here, but I haven't gotten super fast.
But we've had this issue before, right? If you brought a friend over and they've never ridden a dirt bike before, it's kind of tough to teach them how to ride the 70. As opposed to this, I'm pretty confident basically anybody could ride it.
Yeah, mostly anyone, as long as they, the only thing about it is it's a quick start, so once you even put a little throttle in, it's right away.
Yeah, but we can adjust that too. We can put different speeds. We just don't have it on this one, but we can put 3 different speeds so you could slow it down. With the 70, there's no real way to throttle it. So you just kind of got to depend on the rider for them to reduce or increase the speeds up to their own.
I mean, with the gears, you can kind of change speeds.
Right, but I'm saying as far as if you wanted to have one of your friends ride it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So let's see you ride this electric one.
Okay.
One thing I like about it is no noise, no gas, no carburetor, no maintenance. Easy to move if you wanted to take it from one place to the next. You can hear as it goes by. I mean, it's almost no noise. It's just the noise of the electric engine and the tires really is the only noise you're going to get out of it. All right, so now I think the next thing that I really like about this is he came over, got on it, went. Now come here, let's show him the 70. He rode this 2 weeks ago, and because it says Honda, they almost always start and run. But even with that being said, there's still just a little bit more cumbersome than what that's going to be. For one, you got to start it. And like I said, this thing runs great. It's just been sitting for 2 weeks. This is kind of what happens. Plus, Caleb doesn't kick very hard, and he's got the off switch on.
No, I don't.
Oh, no, he doesn't. That's... How about the choke?
It's off.
What do you mean we put it on? Alright, so now that he's got it started. Come here, Simba. Hey, come. So there's Daniel. You can definitely hear the noise difference. Here's the 70. And Daniel's going about, I would say, as fast, maybe a little faster than Caleb. And keep in mind, Daniel weighs a lot more than what Caleb does. But for me, I like the electric one because of all the neighbors here. They don't have to sit and listen to the 70. And Caleb wants to ride something, so in fairness to him, you know. But I think if you were in the woods, you don't have the ability to charge something overnight, the 70 is going to be a clear winner as far as what an actual dirt bike is. I think the last part is just the financial component. These Honda 70s retail is about, I think they get about $3,500 plus all the fees for them. Right now they're all back ordered. You can't even get them, but that's what it would be if you could get it. Used the way this bike is, I'm sure we could sell it for $1,800, $1,900. And that's for a used bike with a lot of miles. I mean, it's a Honda, so they're really reliable. They don't break often, but you can see there's oil and things leaking and blah, blah, blah. There's maintenance issues that have been deferred, need to be taken care of. The plastics wear out and they fade, but I mean, it is a dirt bike. It's not a grand piano, so that's kind of to be expected. With these ones, we can sell something like this for less than $1,200. It's ready to go. It's 100% new. Comes with new tires. The only maintenance really would ever be to charge the battery, obviously, and then to oil the chain, which we just use chain lube for that. No different than a dirt bike's going to take. But as far as getting it started, if there's a female or somebody that's not super well versed with combustion engines, you're not going to have to worry about loading, unloading this, spilling gas. I mean, you could lay it down. It's not going to hurt it. You can put it in your car sideways. All these parts are 100% serviceable, and we can adjust and change them. We can customize things. They're not hard to get. We stock those motors. We have those batteries, the chains, the sprockets, the wheels. If a flat tire happens, it's super simple to fix, but if somebody needs it done, we can do it, or most people can change these small tires. I think that's about it. Anything else you want to add?
Not really.
So financially, this is clear winner. Maintenance and that kind of thing, obviously this makes sense. It's quiet, so it doesn't piss off all the neighbors. I mean, if you want to go out in the desert for multiple days and blah, 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 I think obviously you're still going to want to use a dirt bike. If you have plans for your kid to run Supercross one day, there's going to be a lot of lateral momentum between this and just going up to a bigger bike and a bigger bike until they start riding huge stuff. But if you just kind of want to have fun in the neighborhood, something that's affordable, easy to maintain, and then these things really do hold their value just because all the components are very resellable. So as with this, when the motor blows, it's just not much you're going to do as far as trying to sell a tire or a wheel. I mean, it's just kind of what it is. It's relatively disposable. With these bikes, if for some reason you got tired of it, obviously there's a resale market, but because these batteries are so versatile, there's people using them for every different thing. So the battery in of itself, the engine of itself is very resellable. And this originally is intended for a gas engine. And so after, if you got sick of it, you could take those components and sell them. You could sell it the way it is, but you could also convert it back to gas. With the Predator motor, they're about $140 from Harbor Freight. You could put that on there and convert it back to that. So I think that's about all we got for this first introduction to the new electric mini bike. Did I miss anything? No? Simba, you want to say something? Huh?